Hi guys, Eldon here. Dylan. This is my son. I hope to get him on here a little more. I'm hoping to get him on to do a little bow fishing with us this spring. Um, we come back on. We're gonna do round two. We're gonna do round two of showing off the deer and talking about the stories behind them. The first buck we're gonna go over is actually Dylan's deer. Um, if you guys remember me talking about the deer that I was hunting and then my son shot him in youth season, this is the deer we're going to talk about. He was he's a very very nice deer. Uh, we had a really good time hunting that morning. We I'd been watching this deer for quite a while. It, this deer just would not get close to me. The night before youth season, I had him laying down about 200 yards away from me. Knew exactly what I was doing, just never could get in within bow range of this deer. Had a lot of trail cam pictures of him. Um, so we set up to shoot him during youth season. And Dylan didn't want to go out that night or go out that morning, opening day youth season. I talked him into it. I told him that I had it set up. I'm pretty sure I know he was going to walk right by his blind, so he went. As we was sitting there that morning, we had a very nice 10 point come by, and I told Dylan not to shoot him. Well, an hour goes by, we haven't seen anything. I'm like, man, I probably should have let him shoot that buck. And then all of a sudden, I see horns come up out of the grass. Got Dylan already. This deer gets out there probably about 100 yards away. Dylan shoots, drops him. I put Dylan's gun off to the side and I snatch him up and I'm hugging him, telling him how proud I was of him. I said, that's a very, very big deer. And I said, when we walk up on him, well, then I happen to look out the window and this deer is standing up on his front legs. So I had to run up there with Dylan on one shoulder, gun on another. I got Dylan all set down and he finished him off. Well, then Dylan looks at me. He's like, Dad, this is the deer we had all the pictures of. I said, yes. He goes, Dear, this is the deer you've been chasing with your bow. I said, yes. And then he looks at me and goes, you might as well go home and put all your hunting stuff up. I just killed your deer. Right. Yeah. He thought it was hilarious. Um, and it was just an awesome, awesome hunt. Um, so I'm going to grab this deer. This is the only buck he's actually shot since then. He's only been out, what, one more time since you shot this deer? Something like that. Let me grab it. Oh. So this is the deer. What did you shot one other buck, right? A 6 point your very first year?
Yeah.
A little basket rack. Yeah. And then you shot this one and you really haven't hunted since. He had off this back side on this side, he had another kicker that came off and he broke it off in velvet. But very, very nice deer. Like, as you can see, I can't even put my hands around his bases there. And I've got fairly good sized hands. He'd be very, very proud kid to be able to shoot something like this, being his second deer. The next one we're going to talk about is a rifle kill of mine. Are you going to stay in here for the rest of them, or okay, you can go and Bella can help me. Okay, guys, hang on. See you later, Dale.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Okay. The next deer I'm gonna pull is one of the bucks I shot when I was 14 years old. One of my rifle kill bucks. Um, the place I was hunting, it was awesome. It's where I first started out hunting. This buck, it was kind of a weird hunt. Like I got all set up in the dark. I was sitting by myself. As it got light, I could see down through timber. Thought I seen horns down through timber. Well, I kept watching and looking through my scope, watching this deer, and he just was not moving. And I'm like, okay, he's sleeping. He's not moving. But I could not shoot him from where I was at. So I creeped and creeped for like an hour and got pretty close to him. And sat there and watched him for about another hour. He didn't move, and I'm like, this deer is dead. So I just took off walking up to him. Well, as I got within like 7 or 8 foot from him, he like kind of jumped up, stood up, and sat there looking at me, and I ended up shooting him right there. And but he was hurt. I think he'd been hit by a car. Like we found gangrene in his front shoulder. But I'm gonna grab him. I was very blessed. This deer was a big deer too.
He's struggling just a little bit.
As you can see, yeah, I need that. It's one of the other reasons to take him off the wall. Like I said, he's a very nice deer, especially being a 14-year-old kid shooting something like this.
It looks like he had a big body too.
Yeah, he was very big bodied, and where he was at, it was rough getting him out of there. We ended up having a buddy that had a four-wheeler, and he come up and helped us, and some other buddies joined in to help celebrate the hunt. But he, like I said, it was just kind of a freak hunt. I thought he was already dead, and he just kind of jumped up as I walked up on him. I've had some pretty cool hunts like that too, just some wild hunts. Now I mostly hunt out of ground blinds and tree stands, but back then when I was younger, I just kind of walked around the timber, found a good spot to sit and watch. The next deer, he's a big rifle kill deer too.
That one's got like very light colored horns compared to several of your others. Like they've got like that yellow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Izzy always makes fun of me over this one because I got a headband on him. Deer head. This deer here, he's the one I talked about in the last one. Talked about a little bit. There was some other people hunting him too. I told him exactly what he was doing. He's got some kickers there, some in between there, and then he's got one in between here.
Yeah, another one there.
But the thing I like the most about this deer is look at the blades. I don't know how well you can tell, but I mean, you can see their blades on his head.
What causes them to do that?
Just palmation. Some of them do it. But this deer here, I don't know how many encounters during bow season I had with this deer, but I could not get set up and get ahead of this deer. He was always ahead of me, 2 steps ahead of me. But it was very, very cool to hunt with or hunt this deer just because he showed me how smart deer actually are compared to what a lot of people think. Um, he had me pegged just as much as I had him pegged. But the other people that was hunting him, they could hunt there during rifle season. So I told them what he was doing. I had other land to hunt, and they didn't do what I told them to do. And it was like I think it was the last day of rifle season. I went back in there and I set up exactly where I told them to shoot him. And sure enough, here he come walking down through there, and he was getting ready to go to his bed, and I shot him. I don't know what this deer field dressed at, but look at that neck. I mean,
He's big.
he was big bodied. At that point in time, I had a big jacked up Ford 76 jacked up Ford, and that probably took me 7 times to get this deer up in the back of the truck by myself. He was awesome. It was a very, very cool hunt. I like sitting back and looking back at these deer on the wall and think about the hunts and everything, and this is one of them that always kind of really kicked it off for me because it really made me think about hunting a lot more and how my scent and everything really made a difference, because this one, he was all about that. He knew if I was in there, he wasn't coming in. He was a very, very smart deer. Okay.
The way you had him, you could really, like, up against your sweatshirt, you could really see the things.
This next one that we're going to talk about is actually Izzy's rifle hunt from last year. Get him off the wall here. He's a pretty nice deer. Little 9. He's got I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll see that little hole he's got right there in his horn. This deer here, she was actually asleep when this deer walked in front of us. And so I asked her if she wanted to shoot him. And she goes, "Yeah, I'll shoot that deer." I said, "Okay." So she gets all aimed down on him, shoots him. He drops in his track, and the next thing we know, he's back up looking around. So she ended up having to shoot him again and put him down. But it was a really cool hunt. I knew him and another buck was in that area. They'd been in there all the time. So I had it all set up. I knew opening morning she was going to kill something. I had that gut feeling. I'd been hunting my butt off pretty hard the week before, knew where all these deer was located at. And they was doing the same pattern every day. The rut hadn't kicked in yet, so they was just on the same patterns. The very, very next day, so that was her rifle kill. The very, very next day, I ended up shooting mine probably 150, 200 yards away from where she shot that one. I'm kind of gotten to where I really like European mounts, so I don't really mount my deer no more. But this one, it looks so much like hers. It has to be in the same bloodline. So we decided we was going to mount them both last year. Kind of have them hanging up, looking at each other on the wall. But I about passed this deer up, and he was a very, very nice deer, very old deer, but he's not got a lot of mass to him. But at first, I thought he was a young deer, but I'm pretty sure he was a 5 or 6 year old deer. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure he was. Oh, he was. You can see he's all. I don't know if you guys can see. He's kind of all messed up on this side here. Just kind of.
Got some acorns on this side.
Yeah. He's got like an acorn on that side, if you guys can see that right there. It's kind of cool.
We have a deer that we'll most likely show you one time that we call him Acorn Buck.
Well, I can actually pull him down. I don't think we talked about him last time, did we?
Uh-uh.
I'll pull him down here in a second. But he is 18 inches wide. Really nice deer. Like I said, I thought he was a young deer at first. So I was going to pass him up. And then the more I looked through my scope at him, I'm like, nope, we're gonna shoot that deer and be tagged out.
Not want to go back up?
No, I'll get it here in a minute. I need to dust them off it away before I put them back. Okay, so the next one is the one we always call the acorn buck. Let's see if I can get him off the wall.
We didn't really know what was happening with him at first. When we first got him in, we just kind of, I don't know, we didn't know what was happening, and then we did some research and figured out that they're called acorns.
So, as you can see him there on these horns. He's got them on two of them there and one on the one other side. He's a nice bow kill buck. But there's an awesome story to this deer. So that deer, I actually, the day before I shot him with my bow, I had a really, really big 10, probably 160 inch 10 point, fighting with him that I got to watch. And I thought he was actually going to kill that deer there. And it went on for a good probably 7 or 8 minutes. And it was just a knockout, drag out, like fur flying. It was pretty wild. I'd never seen one that bad before. And so it is really, really cool to watch. He, the next day, he come up through there, and I could see it was the same buck from the day before. And man, you could just tell he was whooped. He was tired. And as he come through, evidently he got his eye punched out. And I could tell he was a fairly old deer, at least 4-year-old or better. And so I just decided to take him out with my bow and ended up shooting him, putting him down. And then Izzy shot a really nice buck, an 8 that we showed you guys. Did we show you?
I don't know. We'll have to go back in the video and look. If not, we'll do it in our next video with a couple other ones of mine.
Well, if you want to do them now, go grab them. And we'll just do them.
I can't reach those two.
Have Dylan grab them. We'll just get this stuff done and over with. But it's cool little hunts like that I really, really enjoy, love looking back to and remembering. And because a lot of stuff like that you don't get to see out in nature. Very often do you get to see bucks really fight like that. It puts me I don't know how to explain it. It's one of them that really it's what calms me down, what lets me just relax. I let everything go, all work, everything. It don't matter. I'm out in the woods. I quit thinking about everything. It just kind of makes me relax and enjoy life. We all get on that struggle bus every now and again. We get to working all the time, and we get on a hard time about ourselves, and that's what gets me back to being back to myself. Just gets me relaxed again. Um, I guess why I'm waiting on her, I can show you. I've got another buck here. I don't. It was just a freak ordeal. Wasn't nothing special, but I can pull him off the wall. I guess real quick. Talked about him while she's grabbing her other two. But he I was actually sick opening day of rifle season when I shot this deer, and I didn't even get in my stand for like 20 minutes and started throwing up, and I was like, heck with this, I'm going back home. I gotta get over this before I go back to hunting. But I was walking back to my vehicle, and he just come walking down the pasture right by my vehicle. He's a pretty cool little deer. This is before I really started thinking about letting deer grow and all that. I'm almost positive this deer was a 3-year-old deer. And look at the genetics in that deer. If he would have made it a couple more years, he'd been an absolute monster. But that's where I'm at in the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years. I've been more thinking about growing them and trying to age them a lot better and being patient and learning a lot more. And so just things like that. I mean, like this YouTube, I'm just kind of teaching myself as I go. It's kind of like hunting. I'm still learning. Got him? Let's talk about.
That's the only one Bubba had to get down.
So this deer here is kind of cool little deer. I made her this plaque for it. This is the deer she shot after I shot that deer with my bow that year, the acorn deer. She actually shot this deer at it's just a hair bit over 200 yards. I was very impressed with her. She had a lot of patience, took her time.
Careful, because it's not, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a little loose.
But she took her time. She was so worked up after this deer fell, though. And that's what it's all about. If you don't get excited like that after deer hunting, you might as well find you a new hobby.
Wasn't I crying after that one?
I think so, actually.
You'll have to hang them all back up.
This one.
Wasn't that my first one?
No, this is your second deer you ever shot. I don't remember much. This was down in the bottom. This was in your favorite spot.
Yeah.
Because he come down the hill and you ended up shooting him. Really cool, really tall deer.
Oh, because this is the one I heart shot.
Yep.
No, that was a doe, wasn't it?
No, it was this there. And left a big old blood trail.
We might still have the video because we took a video of us following the blood trail. But I don't know if you still have it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. And then the next one was her very first one. And I'm pretty sure we did show this off in the first round, but we're going to show you again.
I worked hard to bring all of them in here.
Yeah.
So.
And this one here, I'm pretty sure we talked about him, but this was her very first deer. Very nice deer for her very first deer that she harvested. This was actually on a neighbor's property, and he come across. She had to wait until he crossed the fence, and then she ended up shooting him. But
was this one down in the
by the pond?
Yeah.
Yep.
The one we didn't think I killed.
Yeah.
And then we finally found him several days later because we were gonna go back out
the next day.
Yeah, because you got a hold of the dude, and we searched and searched, and then we finally found him the next day. We were gonna go back out later that night if we couldn't find him, and just have me shoot another one, and then we finally found him.
But as you can see, we've been very blessed. The land we get to hunt is just, it's awesome. I'm very blessed to have the land that I hunt. Big shout out to him for letting us hunt. I'm not putting nobody's name out here on this because I don't know if anybody would be happy, so I'm not doing that. But like I said, I'm very blessed. I'm throwing around the thought of doing some traveling, going to Nebraska, Illinois, Kansas, and just doing some other different hunts. And we'll videotape as we do. We done a night coyote hunt the other night. We got some night vision binoculars that my mom actually bought me. They're pretty neat at night. So, but they actually take video. So I had Izzy set up to do that. Well, we was a little late on the ball. One come running through, and
I couldn't get him to work, and so I just didn't.
My buddy, he had an itchy finger, so he tried to get him killed, and yeah, it didn't work out for us. But we're gonna keep on it. We are going to try to do some more coyote calling. It's getting cold again. We had some ice today, so we are going to get back after it as soon as it warms up a little bit where we can stand it. We
hopefully soon we'll get some shed hunt videos once it starts to warm back up.
Yeah, that'll be about the end of this month. We'll be shed hunting, and we might have a video of just that, doing a bunch of shed hunting and stuff.
Maybe some shorts if we get some shorter clips.
Yeah, if we can get out and do some coyote hunting, I'll put some short clips on here and stuff like that, some short little videos, and so you guys can watch some of that. You know, we're going to have a day, we're going to have some fun here before long and do a bunch of clay pigeon shooting. I'm going to get some of my family together, and we're just going to do a day of it. I plan on videotaping that, and we'll put it on here, and of us out having some fun, and I hope you all like it. Remember, subscribe, keep subscribing, get our name out there. I know we're not the best yet. You know, we're not doing good. I've got to learn how to talk a little better, I guess, on here, and be a little more prepared. We talked about it today about doing this, and then I kind of got sidetracked, and she hit me up and wanted to do it, so we just kind of hurried up and got around. And
we were gonna do it the other day, and then we got busy, and then we just continued pushing it back. And I was like, hey, we got some free time. Let's just do it now.
Yeah, I've got to end up taking all my deer heads down and all my stuff in here anyway. I don't know when I'm going to get around to doing it yet, but I've got to finish out my man cave sometime. We planned on doing it here before long, and I'm just not going to be able to get everything into storage like I wanted right now. So it's just going to have to be pushed off for quite a while. But like I said, subscribe. I hope everybody likes our videos. Hopefully we get a lot more hunting on here before long. And I hope you guys like them videos. And but we'll get back on here, guys. We
Thank you guys
appreciate
for
you.
watching.
Yes, thank you all for watching. If you guys see stuff we need to work on, hit us up. Leave messages for us.
You can comment on one of our videos or email him.
Well, just leave messages on here
Yeah.
and I'll respond. If there's stuff you guys want to see, like that you want to see us do this summer, like I said, we're going to do some bow fishing, stuff like that, but some gun shooting. We're going to go over some new guns we've got when we do that. If you guys see certain stuff what you want us to look at, let us know.
Or if you see a deer back here you want to know a story or something about, just let us know. We might have shown all of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have now.
Did you do that one? The one with the arrows on it?
Yeah, I did. But like I said, guys, subscribe. I love you. Be blessed. Till next time.